Now from the news team that's covering the Carolinas, this is Channel 9 Eyewitness News Sunday morning.
Breaking right now, police are investigating two separate hit and runs within blocks of each other. How those injured are doing this morning and the search for those drivers. But first, in breaking in Huntersville, part of I-77 is shut down after a crash killed one person and injured another. This is a live look at the scene. This is near Sam Fur Road. The northbound lanes are shut down as troopers investigate the three-car crash. Now, officials have not said what led to the crash, but expect the road to be closed for the next few hours. You can see there are still a lot of troopers on scene and some of those involved cars pretty smashed up. As soon as we get any new information, we will let you know here on air and on WSOCTV.com. And breaking in Charlotte, police are looking for this 11-year-old. Elijah Hendricks was last seen on Amity Garden Road near Albemarle Road and Independence Boulevard last night. Police say Hendricks was wearing a black t-shirt, orange shorts, and red and black shoes. They aren't sure where he may be. Now, if you see him, call 911 right away. Thanks for being with us this morning. I'm Elsa Gillis.
And I'm meteorologist Vicki Graff.
Vicki, if we think it's warm now, it's only going to get worse this week.
We do have some major heat and humidity building in later this week. For today, it's going to feel much like summer. We still do have the threat for some downpours today. It's quiet right now, but we have flood advisories in effect for parts of Cleveland County, Burke, Catawba, on into Alexander and Caldwell County. This is right along the Catawba River from Lookout Shoals through the Bridgewater Dam. And any additional rainfall, that could lead to some issues. We'll be watching that and the downpour chance for today. We have some low clouds right now kind of covering the uptown skyline for now. I do expect to see more breaks of sunshine later today. And it's warm. We're in the upper 60s to low 70s right now, upper 50s for the mountains. Once we start to see more breaks of sunshine, that will warm us up into the mid 80s for today. It could feel like we're in the upper 80s. There will be just a few isolated storms developing this afternoon. I'll show you the neighborhoods that have the best chance for that rain coming up.
Before you head out the door this morning, make sure you download the WSOC TV weather app. It now has the same radar our meteorologists use. It is free to download in the Apple and Google Play stores. Now back to our breaking news in North Charlotte. Police are investigating two hit and runs that happened within blocks and hours of each other. The first one happened around 12:30 this morning on North Graham at 24th Street. Police say a driver hit a man as he crossed Graham Street. They tell us he wasn't walking in a crosswalk. The driver then took off. That person is in critical condition this morning. Channel 9 was the first to the scene as police shut down the road. Witnesses say the driver was possibly in a silver car. And breaking less than 3 hours later, police say another driver hit a person on North Tryon Street near the men's shelter, then took off. Medic says that person has potentially serious injuries. Police have not said who the driver is in either case. We have new video this morning of a serious house fire in Huntersville. Medic took this video. You can see flames shooting out of the roof. Firefighters told us no one was at the Angel Oak Drive home when the fire started. The second and third floors are destroyed. It is not clear what caused the fire. This man, now a former Union County middle school teacher, is charged with over a dozen felonies, including indecent liberties with a former student. Police arrested Daniel Stanford Friday, and we first told you about this yesterday at noon. Since then, news of the former social studies teacher's arrest has spread. Eyewitness News reporter Stephanie Tinoco spoke with a parent whose child was in his class just days before this arrest.
It just completely floored me. Had no idea that that could have been the case.
Union County Sheriff's deputies arrested former Parkwood Middle School teacher Daniel Stanford Friday night. He's facing 16 felony charges. 4 of those are for indecent liberties with a former student.
It's a pretty big shock to all of us.
Danielle Moore told me her daughter was a student in Stanford's 8th grade social studies class this year.
It's a big shock to her too. I mean, she loved his class.
The sheriff's office says the victim came forward 2 weeks ago with strong allegations, claiming the incidents happened from 2014 and 2015.
It's still probably premature to go into what those specific allegations are.
My heart breaks for whoever it was. I mean, that's just the unimaginable. And as a parent, man, I couldn't imagine if that was my kid.
Stanford resigned from Union County Public Schools earlier this week before his arrest. But parents told me the district didn't communicate any of this information. They found out over social media.
It infuriates me that I had no conversation, no email, no letter sent home, no phone call, nothing.
Stephanie Tinoco, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
The Sheriff's Department is encouraging other possible victims to come forward. We also reached out to the school district, who says they didn't communicate with parents because it's a criminal investigation. However, the district said it will share if it changes any procedures. Channel 9 checked court records, which show Stanford's next court date isn't until June 26th. Turning now to the major flooding in our area. It has wiped out roads, even trapped people in the mountains and foothills. Volunteers with the Red Cross have been on standby overnight in Caldwell County. Dozens of families were forced to sleep in shelters Friday night as water around their homes continued to rise. County officials say 10 people had to be rescued. Floodwaters washed out several roads in the area. One driver we spoke with says he was stuck for 3 hours Friday night.
It was almost stopping us. I had to lower the truck just to get to move forward, and you could feel it starting to pick us up.
Shelters have closed but will reopen if more flooding happens. And take a look at this. We've received dozens of pictures and videos from Channel 9 viewers in Watauga County. In this video, those rushing high waters look like a river. And one viewer sent this and said it's of their backyard, completely underwater. And in Polk County, a woman died during mudslides. We told you yesterday at noon the woman got trapped inside her home under an 8-foot wall of heavy mud. The mudslide shut down so many roads, authorities had to use a drone to search through the mud for her. The woman's husband was able to make it out of their home safely. We have posted more video and photos of the flooding and mudslides across the mountains and foothills. You can find them on the homepage of WSOCTV.com. New developments this morning. Some Hawaii residents are dealing with raging rivers of lava. It's covered a road, trapping several people on both sides. Rescuers had to use helicopters to save those people. 22 fissures have now opened on Hawaii's Big Island in the last 2 weeks. Some are quieting down only to burst open again.
I am thinking that this is the new norm.
Yesterday morning, 25 miles away, yet another explosive eruption at the summit of Kilauea. It sprayed ash 7,000 feet into the air. 10 emergency managers and fire service officials from North Carolina are on their way to Hawaii. They'll help out after the volcano eruption on the island and will be there for 2 weeks.
The activity continues. This is far from being over, and anytime they're moving around that active eruption site, they have to be careful.
Officials say some residents are getting ready to evacuate if and when lava threatens a major highway. New developments this morning. At least 113 people have now died from this fiery plane crash. Yesterday morning, we told you the plane took off from the Havana airport, then crashed into a field moments later. It erupted into flames. Overnight, we learned at least 20 priests died in the plane crash. 3 people somehow were pulled from the fiery wreckage and are now fighting for their lives. Cuban media say the flight recorder was found, which officials will now go through to see if they can get any clues as to what went wrong. Happening today, presumptive Panthers owner David Tepper will give a commencement speech in Pittsburgh at Carnegie Mellon University. Last week, Tepper finalized his deal to buy the team for $2.2 billion. He still needs 3/4 of the league's owners to approve the deal, and they'll vote at the owners' meetings in Atlanta Tuesday. Tepper also needs to sell his share of the Steelers. There are still questions surrounding Tepper, including if he wants a new stadium or if he'll renovate the existing Bank of America Stadium. Tepper is set to give today's commencement speech at Carnegie Mellon at 11 a.m. Channel 9 will be at the speech today, and we'll have full coverage tonight at 6. In the meantime, you can check out our past coverage on Tepper's bid on WSOCTV.com. Happening tomorrow, firefighters in Cornelius plan to attend a town hall meeting. We've told you they make $13 an hour and are demanding a $2 raise and more staff. The Cornelius Mayor Pro Tem says he's met with the local fire chief to apologize for a secret recording. In it, he berated firefighters.
And they just hang around the station, I think, most of the time. Or they go change the batteries and fire alarms.
Channel 9 obtained the recording from an anonymous source last week. The mayor pro tem says he's met with the Cornelius fire chief and 2 deputy chiefs, and they reviewed the recording. He says he apologized and the chief accepted it. Starting tomorrow, scooters will be back on Charlotte city streets. 2 weeks ago, a Channel 9 investigation found Lime Bike rolled out the scooters illegally. The city made the company remove them. Last week, officials reached a deal with Lime Bike and 2 other scooter companies, Spin and Bird, to bring 300 scooters back to Uptown. Happening tomorrow, Charlotte Douglas Airport officials will release their best tips for the busy summer travel season. TSA says it could be a record-breaking summer with more than 240 million passengers expected to go through security. 2 years ago, the TSA faced a wait time crisis where passengers waited hours in security lines. TSA told House members last week it's using better technology like 3D scanners to safely move people through the lines. A local high school senior received a college scholarship following a Channel 9 story about his family's struggle. Yesterday, the Charlotte chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority awarded Jalen Gray a $2,500 scholarship. It's part of the sorority's new $25,000 scholarship fund to benefit Mecklenburg County seniors heading to Johnson C. Smith University. Friday night, we brought you this family-focused story on Gray, who lost his eye to cancer when he was just a year old. Now, the young cancer survivor is helping raise money for cancer research through Relay for Life, but because his family is still paying for his cancer treatments, he needs support to go to college. Kevin Harvick pulled off the 2018 All-Star race win at Charlotte Motor Speedway. He won stage 1 and 3, which didn't come as a shock since he's already won 5 races this season. In lap 75, Martin Truex Jr. got bumped by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He slammed into Brad Keselowski and the Busch brothers. 2 more drivers were involved in the wreck. In the end, Harvick pulled off the win. It is 7-11 now, and those 10 days of thunder continue today in Concord, leading up to the Coca-Cola 600 next weekend. This is a live look at the Speedway right now. Meteorologist Vicki Graff has an update on what you can expect there in Severe Weather Center 9.
Well, good Sunday morning. We're stuck under some low clouds right now. I'm not tracking any rain in our area. The heaviest rain is right along the coast of the Carolinas for now. We have winds coming in from the southwest, and because there's not a lot of moisture to tap into, I don't expect much rain to start the day off. Still can't rule out a sprinkler or 2. Once we head towards midday, though, we're going to start to see a little bit more sunshine, and soon after, that's when we could start to see some downpours developing, especially south and east of town. I'll show you how long the sunsettled pattern will last coming up.
Dozens rallied outside this prison where 7 inmates were killed in a riot. New at 7:45, the 2 things they are demanding. A man says he has justice 6 years after a driver left him paralyzed.
It's just so difficult. You want to give up.
Next, the reason the man has no hate in his heart and his message for the driver.